Governors are brought to you by State Farm Insurance Becky Potsuba Agency, the American of Fort Pierre, Bank West, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Fording Electric, and Gales Gas.
Olsen hands it off for Getz. He'll pull it for a long-range three. Buried by Getz! He's now got 10, and the Governors lead it by 5, their largest lead tonight.
And by American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, CHS River Plains, First Dakota National Bank, Shane's Pharmacy, and Missouri River Dentistry.
To Williger, she'll spin, kicks it back over. Taylor pulls up for three. That's buried by Graceland Taylor. She's got the Governors up by 6. Taylor's got 5 points.
And by Kruger Contracting, Edward Jones Financial, Lamb Motors, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Todd's Electric, and the South Dakota Office of Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection.
Rebound tipped around, and it's going to be grabbed by the Golden Eagles. They go down the floor with 7 seconds to go. Pass for Fritz, lost the handle of the ball. It's grabbed by Getz with 2 seconds to go. The time will run out, and the Governors will win it 53-51.
And now to the booth we go for Pierre Governor basketball.
Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Pierre Governors basketball on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. It's never been more important than right now for the 7-seeded Pierre girls as they get ready for the biggest game of the season to date as they look to punch their ticket to the state tournament against the 10th-seeded Harrisburg Tigers. Welcome inside the broadcast area. My name is Dylan Simmons, and welcome to the capital city where the wait is over and the action is about to begin. Your Pierre Governors are looking to make the state tournament for the 3rd consecutive season under the guidance of their head coach, Kirk Bebout, who is as determined as ever to prove just how good this year's squad can be. However, on the flip side is a team looking for a twofold measure of revenge and to find their flame heading into the most crucial time of the season. The Harrisburg Tigers are led by Nick Mayer and have historically found incredible success at this stage of the season time and time again. However, this time, they have to find a way to do it in a raucous environment tonight at Riggs High School. What's on the line in this game? Simple. Only a trip to Rapid City to compete for the most prestigious prize in South Dakota basketball, something that both of these teams have been right on the cusp of in the past. The Govs made the state title game in 2022, and Harrisburg has been to 6 semifinals in the last decade. With all of that to be considered, the question now is who will win the war of attrition? Which team wants it more than the other, and will that iron will from either side make the difference? There's only one way to find out for sure. Let's play some basketball. Now, Pierre enters this game with a record of 12-8 overall, coming off a win over Watertown 60-48 on Saturday last week. That win is what kept them at home for the SoDak 16 against the Tigers today. Now, Pierre also beat Harrisburg in the regular season by a score of 53-40 in early February, about 4 weeks ago or so. It was that win that partially catapulted them into their late season surge. They have won 5 of the last 7 games, but the Tigers, they're looking to replicate their own significant success in the postseason with this game today. They'll be looking for their 3rd consecutive state semifinal appearance, as well as their 3rd state championship game appearance under Nick Mayer. They have their own bit of vengeance they will look to exact as well. They lost to Pierre in the state semifinal 2 years ago, costing them a chance to compete in the state championship game. Now they will look to reverse that outcome in today's game while also maintaining their high standard in what has been somewhat of a challenging year for them. Both of these teams have faltered a little bit late in the season. Both were on losing streaks before defeating Watertown in the final regular season game for each side. Pierre lost to Jefferson and Roosevelt, I should say, while Harrisburg had lost 3 games in a row. We will see who comes out swinging harder in this game with the dominant wins that both sides took last week. Remember that Harrisburg did defeat Pierre in this building last year, 54-40. They have a history of getting the job done here in this city. Cannot wait for SoDak 16 action. The intensity is palpable inside this building here tonight. We're going to send it to a quick 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll hear from the head coach of the Harrisburg girls basketball team, Mr. Nick Mayer. The 12-year veteran will give us his insight when we return on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel in 3.
Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Has it been years since you've been to the dentist? Are you afraid to see a dentist? If so, you are among many people who feel this way. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer of Missouri River Dentistry. At our office, we pride ourselves as an office that uses a personal touch to offer gentle dentistry, tailored to fit each patient's needs. We do so by utilizing state-of-the-art equipment and methods which allow the patients to feel comfortable. So whether it has been many years or 6 months since your last dental visit, your oral health is important. We invite you to call us at Missouri River Dentistry, 223-2021, 223-2021.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Dylan Simmons here. In just a moment, we will hear from Nick Mayer of the Harrisburg girls basketball team. Keep in mind, folks, though, this interview does have some audio difficulties, so just keep an eye on that. All right, let's hear what Coach Mayer has to say. All right, we appear to be having some audio issues with the interview. We'll try to get that back up for you as soon as we can. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and send it over to Kirk Bebout, who we also talked to on our pregame show, and we'll get a few words from him in just a moment here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel.
Our patience has gotten a lot better offensively as well. We get to the free throw line, our free throw percentage is up. Defensively, just kind of thinking.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Dylan Simmons here, and I'm joined by the head coach of the Pierre Governors girls basketball team, Mr. Kirkby, about Coach, first question. Your team has had a week to prepare for this one. First time in a while you've had that long to prepare for a game. How do you think that time was put to good use by these girls?
Well, I mean, just getting focus on some of the things that we can clean up, our rebounding, some defensive rotations, clean up some execution. Like I said, it's just nice to be able to breathe and focus in on some things. So, yeah, it was nice to have a week of practice.
Always is. Now, when it comes to this game, Harrisburg is an opponent that your team has seen once this season, and I'm always curious to ask this question to coaches. What kind of challenge does it present when you're facing a team and a staff for the second time in a season, especially in a situation like this?
Well, I mean, we're both in the same boat, and I think, at this point in time, you are who you are, so it's not like a bunch of things are going to change. So, and, the first time you play a team twice, the first game really has no bearing, honestly. It's like it's always a brand new game and starts 0-0 and a ton of different variables. So we're gonna have to play well for an opportunity to win and be ready for the challenge.
Now, this is not the first time you've met Coach Mayer in Harrisburg in the postseason, and far from the first time that you've faced off against him. What challenges do you expect that he and his team will give the Govs today?
Well, I mean, they do a good job. I mean, they play really well together as a team. They always have very team-oriented, where they're all working together, and they get up and guard, and they're physical, and they'll be well prepared.
That they will. Now, playoff basketball always elevates the stakes and elevates the intensity level for any team. How do you, as a coach, keep your girls focused on the task at hand and not let the moment itself dominate their play on the court?
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, it's, what happens between the lines. You can put all the pressure you want on yourselves, but it's just a basketball game. So hopefully once things get rolling and the game gets going, that, we just get down to playing basketball.
Fundamental basketball. Now, what's the final message for your team before this one, Coach?
Have fun. I mean, you only get so many opportunities to play the game of basketball, and yeah, I mean, it's always, kind of hard at this time of year because, it's the end is near one way or another. So, we just want to make sure that we enjoy our time together and that we're putting our best foot forward.
Looking forward to it. Good luck tonight,
All right,
Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll be back in 3 minutes right here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel for more SoDak 16 coverage.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Rev up your drive with Capital City Ford in Pierre. Dive into our impressive lineup of Ford vehicles, from sleek sedans to robust trucks. At Capital City Ford, we're not just about selling cars, we're about crafting exceptional experiences. Our knowledgeable staff is here to assist you in finding the perfect Ford that suits your lifestyle and budget. Visit us today and let us evaluate your driving experience with Capital City Ford.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Welcome back here on
to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Sorry for jumping the gun there on that break. I'm just so excited to get back to all of you and talk a little bit about this prime time matchup in the SoDak 16 between your Pierre Governors and the Harrisburg Tigers, 7 versus 10 in the SoDak 16. Let's go over some pregame stats while we have a few moments. The Governors come into this game with a 12-8 record overall, 7-3 at home, 5-5 on the road. They went 6-6 against teams above 500 on the year and 6-2 against teams below 500. Harrisburg is right on that midpoint, right at 500, so from that end, it's a little bit unpredictable. Pierre scores an average of 56.2 points per game on the season while giving up 50.2. Their defense has been one of their strong suits, and one thing that's always important to keep in mind about these Pierre Governors, they thrive on the three-point shot. They are literally the Boston Celtics of South Dakota because when they're raining in threes, they are basically unstoppable. That is what they'll be looking to do tonight. Kirk Bebout is 4-2 against the Tigers since taking over. An interesting factoid about him against Harrisburg, though, his very first game as a Pierre Governors basketball coach, well, it was against the Harrisburg Tigers, a game that he lost. So you can bet that although he's not a guy that maybe shows his emotion all that much, at least when it comes to the heat of battle and the heat of a basketball game, you got to think that that kind of moment, it sticks with him and gives him and maybe this team a little extra motivation tonight. And just 2 short years ago, let's rewind the clock to 2023, these two teams met in the state semifinals with Pierre taking the victory by a score of 51 to 37. They were the 2 seed while Harrisburg was the 6 seed. And historically, at least as of late, Pierre has had the advantage in this rivalry. Now, Harrisburg enters this game with a 10-10 record overall, 4-5 at home, 6-5 on the road, 2-8 against teams above 500, while 8-0 against teams below 500 in AA play. So it's kind of an interesting back and forth when you look at it from that standpoint. You don't know what to expect with Pierre and how well they've played. With Harrisburg, history does not favor them in this kind of matchup. In the final regular season rankings, Harrisburg was number 50 in the state of South Dakota, number 10 in the AA rankings, and number 39 in the Sioux Falls rankings. Harrisburg's best quarter, it's the 4th right now, with 16 points per game on average and 12 points per game in the first quarter as well. Meanwhile, for the Governors, their best quarter, no question, is the first. They come out swinging with an average of 14 points per game in the first quarter. So the question is, who will grab the better momentum early on and carry that over throughout the rest of this game tonight? That may be a huge key to watch out for. Now, the winner of this game will be playing the winner of, Brandon Valley and Watertown in the SoDak 16, or rather in the state tournament coming up next weekend in Rapid City. So the winner of Brandon Valley Watertown plays the winner of Pierre Harrisburg. That is the game to keep an eye on. And of course, we'll have live scores from across the state trickling in as the night continues on as soon as we can get those to you. So stay tuned right here on KCCR Radio and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel for exactly that reason. Governors coming off a 17-7 season a year ago. Last year, they made the state quarterfinals, but ended up losing to Jefferson by a score of 45-41 as the number 5 seed. This is their lowest seed since Kirk Bebout's first year, but they are not a team to let the odds overtake them or dictate their destiny. Pierre is all about getting the job done on the floor, regardless of circumstances. And when it comes to the SoDak 16, Kirk Bebout, he's been able to get the job done. 3-1 in SoDak 16 games all time. His lone loss was in his first year against Rapid City Stevens by a score of 54-39. The Govs are 5-2 in the postseason in the last 2 years. Kirk Bebout looking for his 6th postseason win since taking over as the head coach of the Pierre Governors girls basketball team. And here they come onto the floor. You see Kirk Bebout on the YouTube stream entering from the top left side of your screen. And talking with him in the pregame, you heard that he was fired up, he was motivated. He may not show it always when it comes to the way he speaks, but trust me, he is just as excited as anybody for this game, and he cannot wait to see what his girls can do here at home tonight against Harrisburg in what, no doubt, or rather, no matter what, will be their final home game of the season against this Harrisburg Tiger squad. So, when you factor all that in, there is no reason to want to be anywhere else than right here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. We will be back in 3 minutes with more pregame coverage, and then it's time for basketball action in the SoDak 16 between the Govs and the Tigers. Stay tuned right here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. SoDak 16 action when we come back.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Ferding Electric and their team of electricians have been serving the electrical needs of Central South Dakota for over 60 years. For fast, dependable service, call Ferding Electric for free estimates. Commercial, residential, and farm wiring. You'll find a large selection of light bulbs, including the hard-to-find fluorescent bulbs. Ferding Electric at 2903 East Elizabeth Street in Pierre. They'll do the job right the first time. Call 605-224-8684. Ferding Electric, 605-224-8684.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. You're listening in to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station, and we are just about set for Pierre Governors girls basketball action in the SoDak 16 as the Govs take on the Harrisburg Tigers. Dylan Simmons on the call with you, and it is as packed here in Riggs High School as it has been all season long. Fans from all over the capital city area and the state of South Dakota have journeyed out here to check out this game. We are just a few seconds away from pregame ceremonies commencing here on KCCR. Governors doing what they can to put themselves in position to get to that state tournament game for the third consecutive year. And Kirkby about knowing all too well what it takes to make the most of this kind of moment. The Governors have been money in these situations in the past, and they will have to do it once again here tonight against a foe that is idle to get some revenge, not just for this year, but for 2 years ago. And even though they haven't thought about it as much as they may lead on, they have certainly kept it in the back of their mind, have the Harrisburg Tigers, and now we'll get to see just what they're able to do. Tigers 10-10 on the season, trying to get their third win against a team above 500 this year. And remember, they get off to fast starts, averaging 12 points per game in the first quarter. It is statistically their second best. Last time out, they were led by McKinley Lawrenson, who has scored 12 points against Pierre. We expect her to be a big factor tonight against the Governors as well. But don't forget about Lennox Dupree, who had a team-leading 20 points for the Govs against Harrisburg, among many sensational performances this year. Let's now send it courtside for opening ceremonies and the Pledge of Allegiance.
And they're here to take on your home team, Pierre Governors. Both teams are members in good standing of the South Dakota High School Activity Association. The association, as well as their lead partner, Sanford Health, their premier partner, First Premier Bank Card, their community partner, Farmers Union Insurance, corporate partner, Billion Automotive, and military partner, South Dakota Army National Guard, welcome you to tonight's game. Before we get started, folks, let's remember that we should always put sportsmanship first at all high school events. Show respect for opposing players, coaches, and spectators, and fans. Treat them as you would a guest in your home. Respect the integrity and judgment of game officials. To put it simply, let the players play, let the coaches coach, and let the officials officiate, and then be a good sport. Cheer your hearts out and enjoy tonight's game. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask you to all please rise and pay proper respect to our flag by removing cover and placing your right hand over your heart. All of our veterans and out-of-uniform military personnel may salute the flag. And now the playing of our national anthem. The officials for tonight's game have been licensed by the South Dakota High School Activity Association.
The always beautiful playing of our national anthem here at Riggs High School. It's now time to meet the starters in this SoDak 16 game. We'll start with the Harrisburg Tigers, but first, as always, the recognition of the Riggs High School cheerleaders.
And
This will be their final game at Riggs High School. Remember that the boys will be on the road the rest of the way. Girls will not come back to this venue no matter what. So for the cheerleaders, much like the players, this is it at home. And we thank them for all they've done throughout the season. And with this crowd tonight, those cheerleaders will be even more special with their ability to get this crowd riled up. And we can't wait to see just how riled up it gets here at Riggs. Let's first meet the Harrisburg Tigers. 10th seed in the state.
For the Harrisburg Tigers, the senior guard, number 1, Maya.
First up, no surprise, it's Maya Johnson, senior guard, standing at 5'4". And now for the Governors, it's Lennox Dupree, the superstar. Coming off a 23-point performance against Watertown last Saturday. Now for Harrisburg, it's Bryn Van Bockern, so we're going out of order. It's one team and then the next team. Emery Larson comes up next for the Governors. The sharpshooter, absolute incredible player from beyond the arc. Next up, it's Logan Dernill, number 10. And then Graceland Taylor, number 20 for the Govs, another huge threat from downtown.
For the Tigers, a senior forward, number 20, McKinley Lawrenson.
McKinley Lawrenson, number 20. Keep an eye on her, folks. That's the top scorer for Harrisburg. And there's the always solid on defense, Grace Richter, in her final home game.
For the Tigers, a senior forward, number 30, Jada Mason.
And Jada Mason, number 30, rounds out the starting lineup for Harrisburg. For the Governors, it's going to be Addison Soma. And she's been sensational in her own right this year. The senior center, standing at 5'10", tallest player on the Govs. Her versus Mason will be a very interesting matchup tonight. So here we go. After all the talk, after all the waiting, it's time to play some basketball. And the student section is getting fired up. So we were talking about the cheerleaders getting this crowd ready to go, and they are already doing just that. It is as loud as it's been all season here at Riggs High School, and there are fans packed in like sardines. This is as good as it gets, folks. Playoff basketball in the capital city. And as G Generation X would say, are you ready? Here we go. Tip-off is won by Harrisburg, and the Tigers will go quickly to work. Here is Maya Johnson, moves to the right, gives it off to Logan Dernill. Dernill goes to the top to Jada Mason. Mason guarded by Soma. She had foul trouble against Harrisburg last time. And there's Lawrenson, gives it up. Driving inside is Van Bockern. Van Bockern can't get the layup to fall. Rebound taken by Dupree. Early missed opportunity by the Tigers, and we'll see if Dupree and the Govs can take advantage. Pass gets out to Richter, now taken up by Taylor on the handoff. Taylor, right side to Larson. And Larson goes to the left side to Dupree. Dupree inside, there's an open Richter, takes a shot, stays on her feet, can't get the finish, trying to get her own rebound, but can't. Ball taken up by Lawrenson. So Harrisburg got a bit of a lucky break. Grace Richter had a chance underneath the basket, but couldn't seize it. And now we'll see the Tigers go to work with Mason. Mason gives it up to Lawrenson. Lawrenson goes right back to the top. Van Bockern now to Dernill, who's trying to spin away from Larson. Emery Larson all over her, going across the court, and the ball's out of bounds. Out of the hands of Jada Mason. It may have been tipped by a Governor. And Kirk Beabout, after clapping the hand of Graceland Taylor, that kind of shows you that it may have been Taylor who got a hand on it and forced the turnover. Here's Dupree, sets up, fires for three, bang! And the first salvo of the game is fired by Lennox Dupree. Her first triple, Govs on top 3-0. And that is exactly the start that the Governors wanted in this game. Now to the left side, here comes Dernill. Dernill gives it to Van Bockern. Weaving her way into the post, puts up a shot and misses. Great defense by Soma, and didn't force the foul this time. Dupree on the fast break, stops, shoots, can't score, gets her own rebound, puts up the shot, can't get the finish. Lawrenson with the rebound for Harrisburg. 6:09 to go in the first quarter. Apologize for our scoreboard difficulties, trying to get that sorted out for you. Top of the key, driving is Lawrenson, almost forced a charge. Rebound taken by Mason, lost the ball, and it looks like it's out on Taylor. So this will remain in the hands of the Tigers. 5:56 to go in the first quarter. Governors up 3-0 on the Harrisburg Tigers. And this is everything that we were expecting from the game so far. Dernill, now an outlet pass, three-point shot, no good from Van Buckern. Rebound by Dupree. Dupree up ahead, here's Richter. She's got open hardwood in front of her, and she scores. Richter cashes in the fast break, 5-0 Govs, full court press employed. Harrisburg trying to respond, and they need to in a hurry because the snowball is rolling down the hill for the Governors right now. 5-0, here's a three-point shot. Lawrenson off the glass, no good. Rebound taken up by Johnson, trying to hold on to it. Puts up a shot, and she gets stuffed. Great defense by Larson and Taylor. Now Dupree fires one wide open. Richter can't get the finish. Ball out of bounds here, and it will be Harrisburg basketball. That's now 2 times that, unfortunately, Grace Richter right underneath the basket has not been able to cash in. And here comes our first substitutions. It's going to be Lincoln Tryon checking in, as is number 22. That is Claire McCollum. So McCollum checks in, as does Tryon. First substitutes of the day, and it's for the Harrisburg Tigers. Van Bakker lost the ball. Great defense by Dupree. Up ahead to Richter. This time she finishes. Grace Richter is cooking the Harrisburg defense right now. 7-0 Govs, and the crowd has come alive. 4:57 to go in the first quarter. Timeout taken by Harrisburg. We'll stick with the action right here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. This is about as good of a start as Pierre could have hoped for in this situation. And for whatever reason, Grace Richter is just blazing by the Harrisburg defense every time. And Nick Mayer trying to get in the head of his team and say, hey, we've got to calm down. We've got to get things right because we're playing scared right now. And it seems like the Governors are playing with an abundance of confidence at the moment, and it's paying off in a big way. 7-0 Governors if you're just joining us on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Dylan Simmons on the call. Grace Richter with 4 points. Lennox Dupree also with a three-point shot. And the Governors' defense has made a huge difference thus far. Inbound pass coming up for Harrisburg. Governors still using the full court press. Near half court is Tryon. Tryon gives it up. McCollum's got it. McCollum back at the logo, goes right back to Tryon. Lincoln Tryon, dangerous pass, gets it into Van Bakkern, puts up a shot, no good. Ball's loose on the ground. Lawrenson the rebound, kicks it back to the outside to Dernill. Dernill falls down and is fouled. Grace Richter, the guilty party. Far side of the court, 4:35 to go in the first quarter. Inbound pass coming up for Harrisburg. Tigers were held to 17 points last time in the first half at home by these same Pierre Governors. And so far, 3 minutes and 25 seconds into this one, they are scoreless against the Governors. This Pierre defense has risen to the occasion after having a few missteps against Roosevelt and Jefferson in their previous 2 games last week. Got some redemption against Watertown. Here's Tryon. High post, has to bounce it back to Lawrenson. Lawrenson gives it up. Long-range three is no good from Dernill. And here's Dupree. She's off to the races. No one left to stop her. Put up a shot, and it looks like she didn't get fouled, but the ball went out of bounds and was last touched by Bryn Van Bakker. And that was an impressive job to not force a foul and just strip it out of Dupree's hands. Inbound pass from Taylor. Goes high to Dupree, who falls down, trying to hold on to the basketball. Tie-up is called, and possession stays with the Governors. Good work by Dupree to somehow chase that basketball back down. Took a bit of an awkward landing. Now she got up under her own power. Collects this one and just chucks up a three. No good this time, and an over-the-back foul by Emery Larson. Trying to take the ball away from Logan Dernill on a rebound attempt. 4:12 to go in the first quarter. Thus far, the Govs have not used any substitutes. While Harrisburg has already went to the well. They did that a couple times against Pierre last time. And that pass intercepted by Richter. Boy, the full court press is working its magic. Step back shot. Larson no good. Got back her own rebound. Up against the baseline. Just threaded the needle to Richter. And actually before Richter collected it, Van Bokeren was out of bounds with the basketball, so it will remain in the hands of the Govs. Maya Johnson checks in for Van Bokeren. Again, apologize for the scoreboard difficulties. Govs up 7-0, 3:55 to go in the first quarter. As it's Richter inside, tough shot, put it right in. It's the Grace Richter game right now. Govs on top, 9-0, 3:43 to go in the first quarter. And right now, Harrisburg has no answer for number 23. Bounce pass up ahead to Claire McCollum. McCollum gets it back to Lawrenson. Lawrenson across the court. Here's Tryon, takes the three, and no good. Soma fights for the rebound and gets it. Here's Dupree, fast break up ahead. It's Richter once more. Oh boy, took a hard shot up against Lincoln Tryon, and that's gonna be an offensive foul. I think Richter was trying to pass the ball to Larson, who was on the opposite side, and her elbow or her forearm won, ended up catching Tryon, and the offensive charge foul. That's Richter's second here in this first quarter, so she's got to be careful, and we'll see if Kirk Bebout wants to go to the bench with Richter in the situation she's in. Now it's Maya Johnson, hesitating against Larson, has to bounce it back. Here's McCullough. Claire McCullough getting double teamed, gives it up. Lawrenson corner three, and she got it. And the scoreless streak is over for the Tigers. Lawrenson nails the triple. It's now 9-3 Pierre. Richter's got to get it in, and just does to Taylor. Taylor in some trouble in the backcourt, gives it up to Dupree, and finally Harrisburg lets off. Dupree's got to make it across half court and does. Goes to Taylor. Taylor wrestling against Johnson. Gives it back to Dupree. Dupree, left wing, high post. Back to Soma. Soma lost the basketball, stripped away by Darnell. Now it's Harrisburg with some momentum. Logan Darnell, outlet pass, three-point shot. Well off the mark for Tryon, out of bounds. And this will be Governor's basketball. Nobody touched it for the Govs that time, despite some protest from Harrisburg, it looked like. Olsen checks in for Soma, not Richter, so they leave Grace Richter out there, even with the two fouls. So showing Kirk Bebout's confidence, but that ball stripped and taken away, but then taken right back by Dupree. And here she comes, Dupree all the way to the glass with the and one. Gotta go fast, Lennox Dupree. Looking like Sonic the Hedgehog, blazing her way down the lane. 11-3 Governors, and a chance at a three-point play for number 4. 5 points already in this first quarter, and a chance at 6 right here. Thus far, only her and Richter have scored for the Govs, but that's all they've needed. Richter already with 6, and Dupree a chance to join her. 11-3 Governors, 2:19 to go in the first. Misses the free throw, Lawrenson with the rebound. And here's Johnson. Maya Johnson weaving her way around half court. Gives it to Darnell. Darnell bounces it back. Johnson in the high post, wrestling the ball, or trying to wrestle it away from Taylor, who was all over her. Foul committed, and this will lead to an inbound pass for the Tigers. Foul goes against Taylor, her first. 4th team foul by the Governors in this first quarter. And we'll see Emerson Galdamer check in for the first time, as Logan Darnell makes her way to the bench. So Galdamer in, 2:05 to go in the first quarter. Lawrenson to Galdamer, bounces it right back to Lawrenson. Lawrenson gives it to the top to Van Bokeren. Van Bokeren hesitating, right back to Galdamer. Galdamer, opposite side to Johnson. Johnson trying to get some spacing against Taylor. Nowhere to go, got to get rid of it, and she got rid of it right to Larson. And here she goes. Larson off to the races, gets fouled, and she'll head to the charity stripe. It is a mad dash for the Governors right now. They keep forcing steals, they keep forcing turnovers, and they keep goading Harrisburg into mistakes. And it's making all the difference. Larson, thus far scoreless, hasn't been able to really utilize her patented step-back three, but she gets her first point of the game right there. 12-3 Governors. By the way, Harrisburg is now in the bonus by virtue of the 5 team fouls committed by Pierre. And she does make both free throws. So Larson makes it 13-3. Actually, that should not be in the bonus for Pierre because there's only 4 team fouls, at least according to my notes. As it is Harrisburg basketball. Govs fans thought there may have been a travel there. Johnson's got it, so just 4 team fouls for Pierre at the moment. But if they do commit another one, it'll be an automatic trip to the free throw line for the Tigers. Long range three, Van Bokeren well off the mark, no good off the iron. Oh, Taylor falls down, got contacted by Galdamer right into the referee. This will remain Harrisburg basketball, and they're gonna call a tie-up. They call a tie-up, and a lot of Pierre fans not happy, as you can imagine. This will be possession for Harrisburg. After a brief discussion, checking in is Logan Darnell. She'll come in for Claire McCollum. Govs fans didn't agree with that call, kind of grumbling and moaning after the fact. I was just shocked it was a tie-up to begin with. Did think that it was Harrisburg possession, but it's not anymore. Richter's got it, and she double dribbled. Oh, man. Had a clear path to the goal again, and just took the wrong form. Addison Soma checks in. Richter will head to the bench. Some frustrating moments for Richter in this first quarter. Despite the 6 points, she's had some missed opportunities, but right now our team is flying high. 30-second timeout. Governors on top 13-3. We'll stick with the action. Dylan Simmons on the call here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. They are 3 quarters away from punching their ticket to the state tournament in Rapid City next weekend. And assuming that that is the case, they would play the winner of Brandon Valley and Watertown. And of course, we will be live for that game if it does indeed happen. But we got a long way to go, and the Governors have had issues closing out games in the past. Remember, they were up by over 20 points against Mitchell a couple games ago and only ended up winning that one by 2. So the Govs have had some games get closer than they probably should have before. Pierre does not want to replicate that again here at home against these Tigers. So Johnson will inbound it. Governors still using the full court press, and right now Harrisburg has had no answer for it. They have just one shot made from McKinley Lawrenson, which was a triple. Here's Maya Johnson in the backcourt. Johnson trying to get something, trying to get anything going for Harrisburg right now. Johnson moves past Olsen, puts up a wild shot, no good. Great defense by Soma. You just cannot get through Addison Soma like that. Here's Larson for 3. No good off the front of the iron. It's a race for the rebound. Johnson wins it. Johnson tried to bounce it ahead. There's a scrum for it. Lawrenson comes up with it, and that ball is going to be a backcourt violation, or will it? Yes. After a bit of a hesitation from the official, they do confirm the backcourt violation as Van Bokeren, or actually Johnson, threw it to no one. A bit of a miscommunication. By the way, may have missed this. Molly Olsen now checked into the game. 48.1 to go in the first quarter. Govs on top 13-3. Again, apologize for the scoreboard issues. Dupree for 3. No good. Rebound by Soma. And can't get the finish. Olsen comes up with it and is fouled. This will lead to an inbound pass for the Govs. Third team foul on Harrisburg. 37.3 ticks of the clock left in the first quarter. But as I was saying, sorry for the scoreboard issues. We'll try to get that sorted out throughout the rest of this game. Claire McCollum checks in as a couple players head to the bench for Harrisburg. Looks like Johnson and Lawrenson. Inbound pass for the Govs. Taylor pump fakes, gives it to Dupree. Dupree on a short shot, got it! How in the world did Dupree put that one up in that kind of traffic? 15-3, Govs on top. Looked like Thursday at 3 in Sioux Falls with how much traffic she was dealing with. Now a shot blocked by Soma. She just stonewalled Van Bokeren. 16 seconds to go. Larson for 3. No good. Olsen fighting for the rebound. Out of bounds. And it is going to be Harrisburg basketball. 11.5, left in this first quarter. Inbound pass coming up for Harrisburg. Governors trying to finish strong. Tigers have not been able to do anything thus far. Here's Van Bokeren. Got to put one up. Does, misses it. Larson's got it. And she will let this one run out. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Maybe the most dominant first quarter of the season. You talk about playoff form. Well, the Pierre Governors are showing super playoff form right now, on top 15-3 over the Harrisburg Tigers. We'll take a 1-minute timeout and be right back for the second quarter. You're listening to Pierre Governor Basketball on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Did you know it is important for your child to see the dentist at the time their first tooth erupt? A healthy smile begins at birth, and there are many variables, from healthy eating habits to good oral hygiene and routine dental care. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer. At Missouri River Dentistry, we enjoy working with people of all ages. Dentistry is our profession, but people are our focus. I invite families to come experience an office that uses the latest techniques and equipment to be sure you receive that healthy and happy smile. To schedule your appointments for your family, call us at 223-2021. Kids love us, parents trust us.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Here is a pass from Lennox Dupree that gets intercepted by Claire McCollum. Second quarter action already in progress between the 7 and the 10 seed, Governors and the Harrisburg Tigers. Govs on top 15-3. They allowed just one three-point shot from McKinley Lawrenson, and that's it. That's all Harrisburg was able to manage as Emerson Goldamer takes a fall as she was trying to pass it in the lane. Foul goes against the Governors. Looks like it's against Graceland Taylor. That'll be her second. Packed house here at Riggs High School tonight. The biggest crowd we've seen, I would say, all season long, at least since I got here back in January. It is a sight to see. There's nothing like playoff basketball on the high school scene. Step back three from Durnell, and she got it. Tough shot from Logan Durnell from way downtown. Hit that one from the parking lot, and it's now a 9-point game. That's the momentum that Harrisburg was looking for. Emery Larson with it, gives it to Graceland Taylor. Opposite side, Dupree. Dupree from the right wing, gets a screen, puts up a shot, mid-range Jay, can't get it to fall. Taylor, rather Soma, fighting for the rebound. A tie-up is called. Possession goes to Harrisburg. The Tigers were 2-8, or rather to Pierre. No, it is Harrisburg. Apologies, Graceland Taylor stepped in front for some reason. Maybe just trying to fake out the official. 7:09 to go in the second quarter. Durnell's got it. Harrisburg was 2-8 against teams above 500 this season. And against another team above 500, they are showing signs of struggling right now. That's a foul on Soma, push foul in the low part of the post. That'll be Soma's first of the game, second of the second quarter for the Govs. 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. Inbound pass coming up from Bryn Van Bakkeren. Governors beat Harrisburg early on this season in Harrisburg by a score of 54-40. Last year, though, it was the Tigers winning in this venue by a score of 54-50. Here's Durnell, another three-point shot. Off the back of the iron, no good. Dupree with the rebound. Dupree with a 7-point first quarter, and as you'd expect, she leads the team in scoring and chucks up a three off the front of the iron, no good. Dupree now 1 for 4 from downtown in this game. Bounce pass up ahead. Given back to the outside to Van Bakkeren. Wild pass, somehow got it to Durnell. They are really prioritizing the three-point shot right now. Mason now going across the floor to Van Bakkeren after the pass from Goldamer. Driving inside, oh boy, taking a hard shot is Van Bakkeren. And her head may have bounced off the hardwood just a little bit. Looks like the foul will go against Pierre. And we will check to see who that was against. It is against Soma, and Van Bakkeren is still down. And this is always a bit of a scary moment, no matter who you are, no matter what team you root for. You just hope that the athlete is okay, and Bryn Van Bakkeren, one of the stars of the Harrisburg Tigers, took a hard shot right into the body of Soma that time in the post. And obviously don't want to speculate on what the cause could be. Just hope that she's okay and that the landing didn't affect her too much, and it looks like she is going to be able to get to her feet, and hopefully she'll be able to shake off any cobwebs that she may have. Glad to see her get up under her own power. She is clutching the back of her head, and we'll hope that that's nothing too serious. But again, she is walking under her own power. Doesn't seem to have any super noticeable issues. But in the meantime, that'll send in Lincoln Tryon in Van Bakkeren's place. 6:20 to go in the second quarter. Tryon with the basketball at the baseline. Inbound pass given up to Lawrenson, or rather to Mason. Mason Gives it back out to Tryon. Tryon has to go right back to Mason again. Pierre is playing such great man-to-man defense right now. Here's a screen. Back to Tryon it goes. Tryon bounces it. Durnill's got it. Durnill guarded by Larson. Nowhere to go again. Now Tryon's got it. Three-point shot off the glass and good. Lincoln Tryon with a pretty penny. And all of a sudden, it's a 6-point game on back-to-back triples from the Tigers. 6 unanswered to start the second quarter for Harrisburg. Govs on top by 6. Here's a shot from Dupree, no good, and the Govs again remain scoreless thus far in this second stanza. And Dupree now 1 for 5 from downtown. Here's a shot from Tryon, no good. McCollum got the rebound past Olsen and gives it back to Durnill. Durnill lost it for a second. Tryon there to clean it up. Now Tryon, already with 1 3-point shot, getting swarmed by Dupree, gives it back to Durnill. Durnill, sidestep 3, no good. Who wants the basketball? What a move by Larson to get that one back. She beat Maya Johnson for the ball that time. And now Dupree's got it near the student section. Far right side for Lennox Dupree. And now she'll work her way to the logo right at the center of the court. Dupree goes to Larson. They've been trying that 3-point shot a lot recently. Haven't had a lot of success with it. Larson goes to Richter. Richter had a sensational first quarter as well, as that's a air ball from Gracelyn Taylor on another missed 3 for the Governors. And that offensive attack, which was so potent early on, is stalled out for Pierre, and Kirk Bebout is going to take a timeout, it looks like. So Kirk Bebout wants to talk about the situation for the offense right now after a tough start to the second quarter, and now a discussion from the officials, and they're going to leave him out there, actually. I'm not sure what that stoppage was about. They were motioning for a Bebout timeout. Everyone went over there like it was going to be one, but apparently it was not. So you can wipe away all that. Now Lincoln Tryon with the basketball. Bebout saving his timeouts for now. Tryon all the way to the hoop unabated. Can't score though. Larson fighting for the rebound and gets it. Gracelyn Taylor up ahead. Weaves her way over to Molly Olsen. Here's Dupree. Dupree gives it to a wide open Larson. 3-point shot, no good. Larson gets her own rebound again. Mid-range J this time, no good. Richter takes a shot from Johnson and is fouled. That'll be the first team foul committed by Harrisburg in the second quarter. They've played relatively clean thus far, but not that time. And here's our look at McKinley Lawrenson, who checks in for Maya Johnson. Johnson will take a seat. Lawrenson with 1 3-point shot thus far. Inbound pass, Larson can't get that one to fall right up against the rim. Good defense from behind by Logan Durnill. She was all over her on the block. Now it's Lawrenson. Tough pass to Durnill. Durnill on the baseline, may have stepped out of bounds. It doesn't matter, Governors have the basketball anyway. Tremendous defense by Pierre right up against the baseline that time. Dupree over to Larson. Emery Larson gets a screen, goes to Richter. Richter now to Taylor. Taylor looking, trying to find some sort of space, has to go back to Olsen. Olsen now gives it to Dupree. Dupree dishes it over to Richter. Richter back to Larson. Larson in the post. Euro steps, misses her shot, gets it back, goes right back to Richter. Great offensive movement by Pierre. Richter's shot, no good. Larson with another offensive board, puts up a wild shot, still no good. Can Pierre get another offensive rebound? Tie-up call, possession goes to the Govs. How about this possession by the Pierre Governors? They are just not allowing Harrisburg to get the basketball. They're saying to Harrisburg, you shall not pass. And they're not passing the basketball because Pierre's doing it over and over again. Dupree from the corner, what a move. 3-point shot's good. Whoa. Lennox Dupree is making magic happen. What a sidestep triple. 18-9, 3:17 to go in the second quarter. Wasn't quite an ankle breaker, but it was a crossover for the ages here in the SoDak 16. Lincoln Tryon now with her team down 9. The Govs have retaken the initiative in this second quarter. The scoreless streak's now broken. Tryon guarded by Dupree. Wild shot, no good. Almost got it to fall. McCollum with the rebound and then is fouled. And Claire McCollum heads to the free throw line with 2:56 to go here in the second quarter. If you're just joining us here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel, Dylan Simmons on the call. It's been a fun one so far, folks, and the Governors on top by 9 And the big reason why that first quarter start, Lennox Dupree and Grace Richter, tremendous on offense and maybe even better on defense, forcing turnover after turnover after turnover. And it's been a huge, huge difference in this game thus far. A couple substitutions. Addison Soma checks in for the Governors. And it looks like Maya Johnson's back in as Lincoln Tryon heads to the bench. Still have not seen Bryn Van Bokeren return yet. We'll see if that changes. Looks like Emerson Galdamer will check in just a second. McCollum makes the second free throw. So a 1-for-2 trip to the charity stripe for Claire McCollum. That'll be her first point of the game, 18-10. And now we'll see Galdamer check in. 2:53 to go in the second quarter. 7th-seeded Governors, 10th-seeded Tigers. Govs on top, 18-10. Winner moves on to Rapid City. Here's Dupree right to the cup. She scores. It's the Lennox Dupree show in the prime time slot once again. She's got 12 first half points, 22-10 Governors. Maya Johnson bounces it back. 3-point shot from the corner. Durnell, no good. Dupree with the rebound. Dupree right up ahead, trying to go to Larson. A little bit too far out in front, intercepted by Durnell. Logan Durnell gives it to Lawrenson. Lawrenson rumbles her way to the basket, and that was a sloppy shot, no good. Didn't quite get to the cup that time. Here's Larson, gets the 3-point shot up. No good. Richter fighting for the rebound, can't grab it. Mason's got it, and Jada Mason works her way out of some trouble, and now she's on the run. Gives it to Durnell. 3-point shot is good. Logan Durnell now with her second 3-pointer, 6 points in the game. And that stops the Pierre momentum for just a second. 2013 Governors, 1:44 to go in the second quarter. Here's Dupree, gets a screen, and that is an offensive foul. Offensive foul on Addison Soma for an illegal screen. That's the 5th team foul on Pierre in this first half, and the 3rd on Soma. Or rather, 5th in the second quarter, I should say, on the Governors, as Jada Mason heads to the bench, and 3rd on Soma, so you have to imagine that Kirk Bebout may not want to take many chances here. We'll see if he takes Soma out. And remember, this was a problem for her in the first game against Harrisburg as well. Got into some foul trouble, and in the exact same situation, had 3 fouls in the first half. Galdamer gives it up to Durnell again. She's had the hot hand from 3. Driving inside, this is actually Van Bokeren, who has now returned to the game. Good to see that. Ball out of bounds, though, and the Governors will take over. So glad to see Van Bokeren back. She just subbed in, and now we'll see Claire McCollum check in for Harrisburg as Lawrenson makes her way to the bench. Quiet night for McKinley Lawrenson, who had 12 points against Pierre last time. And the Governors' 54-40 win on the road. But this game is ultra competitive right now. Bounce pass is ill-advised and right into the hands of the Tigers. Dupree was trying to go to Richter, and it's intercepted by Van Bokeren. Now Van Bokeren, right side to Emerson Galdamer. Gives it back to the left side to Johnson. Johnson spinning, maneuvering, and losing the ball. Richter's there. There's going to be a foul committed, and it's going to be against Maya Johnson. She tried to instigate against Grace Richter, and she took the wrong opportunity to try to rip out the basketball. Less than 60 seconds to go in this first half as McKinley Lawrenson checks in for Johnson. And Johnson now with a couple fouls in this game. She's got her own foul trouble to worry about for the Tigers. Here's Dupree, right side to Larson. Larson driving it back to Dupree. Dupree, wild pass over to Larson, found its way though. That was an interesting form on it. Olsen spins, has to go to Soma, almost lost it. Soma getting hounded by McCollum, goes to Dupree. Dupree's thinking about it, wanted the 3 for a second, decided against it. Shot clock down to 10. 3-point shot on the way, no good, well off the mark by Dupree. And now Harrisburg looking to cash in. Lawrenson is going to toss it right back to Van Bokeren. Shot clock off, 20 seconds to go in the first half. Van Bokeren to Durnell, right back to Van Bokeren. She was on the floor injured, grasping her head earlier on in the second quarter. Now she's back. Durnell's got it, 9 seconds to go. McCollum to Van Bokeren. Van Bokeren driving, shooting, and scoring. Off the floor on the board for Bryn Van Bokeren. Half-court shot, no good from Lennox Dupree. And that will do it for the first half. Governors on top 20-15, but the Tigers hard charging in the second quarter, and they are not going to go away quietly. This SoDak 16 game is reaching maximum drama, and we are far, far from over. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have halftime stats and more right here on your KCCR Sports Halftime Show here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 3.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Ferding Electric and their team of electricians have been serving the electrical needs of Central South Dakota for over 60 years. For fast, dependable service, call Ferding Electric for free estimates. Commercial, residential, and farm wiring. You'll find a large selection of light bulbs, including the hard-to-find fluorescent bulbs. Ferding Electric at 2903 East Elizabeth Street in Pierre. They'll do the job right the first time. Call 605-224-8684. Ferding Electric, 605-224-8684.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
One of the most legendary songs of all time, Phil Collins' Can You Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight? Dylan Simmons on the call. 2015, your Pierre Governors on top of the 10th seeded Harrisburg Tigers in SoDak 16 action on KCCR. Govs on top by 5. Let's see how they did it with our halftime report. We will start with Lennox Dupree, who, as you can guess, was sensational. 12 points in that first half, an incredible first half. No need to go over the score too much with that, but she did have a couple triples, and as I mentioned, 12 total points. Emery Larston with 2 points, Grace Richter as well with 6, all of that coming in the first quarter. Governors did not score anybody else outside of those 3, and to be honest, the 20 points is pretty light for them when you consider how much they've been able to score in certain first halves this season, coming off a 60-point game against Watertown last Saturday. Meanwhile, for Harrisburg, they only managed 15 in the first half, even less than the 17 they scored at home the first time these two teams met. They were led in scoring by Logan Durnell, who had a couple triples. Otherwise, nobody else managed more than a single shot in that first half. Lincoln Tryon had a triple. McKinley Lawrenson also had a 3-point shot. Claire McCullum had 1 free throw, and Bryn Van Bokeren had a 2 right near the buzzer to put this at a 5-point game at the half. That's how the Governors and the Tigers got to 20-15 respectively. And again, what's at stake? The winner of this game moves on to the state tournament in Rapid City next week. They will play on Thursday against the winner of Brandon Valley Watertown, which is in progress as we speak. That is a 2 versus 15 showdown. Governors trying to get their 13th win of the season in total and get back to the state tournament for the 3rd consecutive year and get a chance to get some vengeance for what happened last year in the quarterfinals by getting back to the semifinals and making their 2nd state championship game in 3 years. And meanwhile for Harrisburg, they're trying to make their 3rd consecutive state semifinal in their own right. And Nick Mayer trying to make his 7th total semifinal and 3rd state championship game appearance in his illustrious 12-year career. Governors and the Tigers meeting in the playoffs for the 2nd time in 3 years. They met in 2023 in the state semifinals, with the Govs picking up the win 51-37, trying to move to 6-2 in the postseason. And with all the history considered, with all the intensity that these two teams bring to the hardwood floor, it's always been amazing, especially in this game, just to see how driven both teams are and how, even though it's a high-stakes basketball game, they don't seem flustered in the slightest. Despite that, what you can honestly call a disastrous first quarter for Harrisburg, they have not flinched and found their way right back into this game, and that goes back to coaching. What Nick Mayer's been able to imbue on these players, it's been sensational, and you can see that with their discipline and the way that they play. But the Governors aren't too shabby in their own right. Kirk Bebout has done a masterful job getting this team to where they are now, especially with all the players they lost last year, all the great senior talent that the Governors had, and now being able to do what they've done this year, nothing short of sensational. Whoever wins this game, there is no question they've earned it. We will be right back in 3 minutes, and when we come back, we'll have second half action between your Pierre Governors and the Harrisburg Tigers, 7 versus 10, SoDak 16 action, and a spot in the state tournament online right here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Back in 3.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Has it been years since you've been to the dentist? Are you afraid to see a dentist? If so, you are among many people who feel this way. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer of Missouri River Dentistry. At our office, we pride ourselves as an office that uses a personal touch to offer gentle dentistry, tailored to fit each patient's needs. We do so by utilizing state-of-the-art equipment and methods which allow the patients to feel comfortable. So whether it has been many years or 6 months since your last dental visit, your oral health is important. We invite you to call us at Missouri River Dentistry, 223-2021, 223-2021.
Most of us already know that Gale's Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the costs throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gale's Gas at 224-5518. That's Gale's Gas at 224-5518.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. You're listening in to SoDak 16 coverage on KCCR, and we are just about set for second half action between your 7th-seeded Pierre Governors and the 10th-seeded Harrisburg Tigers in girls basketball action. Governors trying to make their 3rd consecutive state tournament. The Tigers trying to make their 3rd consecutive state semifinal in a rematch of a game just 2 years ago in the state semifinals. Gracelyn Taylor almost got it away from Maya Johnson, and she will force the turnover as the Governors take possession. That ball last bouncing off of Johnson. It was a very defensive game in the first half. The Governors got off to a great start in the first quarter, generating a numerous amount of turnovers, but they were not able to convert that into points in the second quarter as much as they were the first, and the Tigers were able to mount a bit of a comeback, scoring a dozen points in that second quarter as that ball slips off the fingers of Lennox Dupree. Turnover for the Govs, Harrisburg with the basketball. Governors were up by as much as 12 points early on in this game. It was 15-3 at the end of the first quarter, but the Tigers have clawed their way back and are making this one mighty tight and mighty interesting heading into this third quarter. 7:26 to go in the third. Here's Bryn Van Bockern. Took a shot in the second quarter. Was out of the game for a little bit, has come back and has scored a big basket. And now trying to make it 2. Gives it back up to Lawrenson. Step back 3. Got it. McKinley Lawrenson comes right out of the gate with the triple. That's her second of the game, 6 points. And it's a 2018 Governors lead. Lennox Dupree with the basketball. 7 minutes to go here in this third quarter, second half in total. Dupree with the basketball, goes to Richter. Richter finds Larson. Larson to Soma. Soma hesitating, almost traveled. Has to hand it off to Taylor. Good perimeter defense right now by Harrisburg. They are zoning in on the three-point shot as Johnson rips it away from Taylor, and they're gonna draw the foul as well. Maya Johnson just took it away from Gracelyn Taylor. That was just a manhandling play. After getting forklifted, Taylor will head to the bench with Molly Olson checking in. Obviously a disappointing play for her, a player who prides herself so much on her strength and her capability at handling the basketball, but you got to give credit to Maya Johnson on that one. 2018, this Harrisburg defense, and especially the offense as well, has gotten physical. They're getting down and dirty right now, and Bryn Van Bockern wants some smoke, and she gets the smoke from Grace Richter on that block. Reminiscent of the game-winning block that Richter had against Mitchell just a couple weeks ago. Olson on the left side. Has to bounce it over to Richter. Richter finds Dupree. Dupree on the right wing, goes right back to Soma. Governors moving the ball around the arc, but not finding a lot of clearance. Dupree hesitating. Wants the three, now drives, shoots, and can't get the finish off the iron. 5:53 to go in the third quarter. Couldn't get the touch off the glass. And now Bryn Van Bockern's got it. Harrisburg trying to tie this game up. Governors have scored just 5 points in the last nearly 10 minutes now. As that shot's no good from Jada Mason. She got past Soma. Now the Governors with a fast break. Richter collects it, and no, she cannot score. Another close opportunity for Grace Richter, couldn't get the layup. Now Dernil for the lead. Got it. And the Tigers have come all the way back to take a 21-20 lead. They were down 15-3 at the end of the first quarter, and a timeout taken by Kirk Bebout. This Tigers team has not quit. This is gonna be a full 1 minute timeout. We'll take one as well. 5:13 to go in the third quarter. Tigers on top 21-20 here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. More SoDak 16 action when we come back.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones financial advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones financial advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Action already in progress. Emery Larson with the basketball. Pierre Governors down 21-20. Dupree from three, no good. Soma with the rebound and his foul. And Addison Soma heads to the charity stripe. Dylan Simmons on the call. 5:01 to go in the third quarter. Soma with 3 fouls already in this game. Had to get subbed out late in the second quarter. Due to the foul trouble she was in, she had this same problem last time against Harrisburg. Trying to manage that in the second half, and she makes the free throw. Tie game. That is her first point of this one, 21-21. This has been a low-scoring, knockdown, drag-out, slobber knocker, as good old JR would say. 22-21. Soma makes them both. Governors retake the lead. The efficiency from the free throw line has definitely been there for Pierre tonight. That's helping them as well in this one. Tigers back down, but we'll see if that lasts too long. Lawrenson with the basketball, goes to Van Bakeren on the left side. Gets double team, goes inside. Lawrenson's got it. On the block, she gets stuffed by Lennox Dupree. Tie-up is called, and possession goes to the Governors. What a play by Lennox Dupree on defense. Put a hand up and see what happens. Now the Tigers using a bit of a half-court press right now, but not showing too much pressure. They lay off of it pretty quickly. Dupree's got it, right side. Goes to Richter. Richter finds an open Dupree. Three-point shot is no good. Rebound collected by Lawrenson. McKinley Lawrenson led the team with 12 points last time out against Pierre. She's been somewhat quiet in this game, but she does have a couple of key triples. Now Van Bakeren for three. Off the iron, no good. Richter with the rebound. But she's in a tie-up position, gets out of it, goes to an open Olsen. Olsen right at the three-point line, finds Dupree. Dupree to Richter, right side. Back to Soma. Soma dishes it to Dupree. Gets a screen from Soma. Has to check it over to Richter. Now right side to Olsen. Olsen gets her own screen. Finds an open Richter inside. She's right underneath the basket, and she scores. She bobbled it for just a second. You wonder if she was doubting herself in that moment, but she collected her bravery just in time to make the play. 24-21 Governors. Now Durnell, corner three, busted coverage, shot no good. Olsen with the rebound. Governors now finding some momentum. Larson's open, wide open for three. Off the iron, no good. That's a shot that Emery Larson usually makes in her sleep. That's a big symptom of Pierre being as close as they are in this game. They just have not been able to make threes on a consistent basis. And again, it's like the Boston Celtics. Here's Johnson for three, and she's off the mark as well. And the missed threes continue. Up ahead to Larson. Fast break. Can't get the finish, and a nice rebound by Van Bakeren. And a tie-up's called. Possession will stay with Harrisburg, but Emery Larson, for a second there, was giving Van Bakeren some trouble. I don't think that Van Bakeren agreed with the call, as we'll see both Mason and Johnson head to the bench. It will stay in the hands of Harrisburg, though. Moving across half court, it's Lawrenson. Lawrenson finds Van Bakeren. Tigers down by three. Ball is out of bounds, and it's going to be Governor basketball. I think that was Larson that got a hand on it, and Nick Mayer wants a timeout. This is going to be a full 1 minute timeout as well. We'll take another one along with them. 2:53 to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back to the capital city for SoDak 16 action. Govs on top 24-21 over the Tigers.
Discover the ultimate driving experience at Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre. With our extensive lineup of vehicles, including reliable sedans, rugged SUVs, and powerful trucks, finding your perfect match has never been easier. Plus, our dedicated team is committed to providing top-notch customer service, ensuring your satisfaction every step of the way. Visit us today and experience the excellence at Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Welcome back to the Capital City. Dylan Simmons on the call on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Your home for Pierre Governors basketball. Goes on top 24-21 over the Harrisburg Tigers, trying to punch their ticket to Rapid City, the Black Hills, and the state basketball tournament. Lennox Dupree with the ball. Govs on top 24-21. And an interesting thing to note about the Govs and all their losses, they've given up 55-plus points. They are definitely not on track to do that. So if history holds as it has thus far this season, they will likely win this game. But again, you know what they say about trends. They're meant to be broken. Soma with the basketball. Tries to bounce one to Larson. It's tipped up right in the air and intercepted. Taken away by Logan Durnell. Durnell gives it to Lawrenson. Tigers still down by just one possession. They can change everything with a well-timed three, and they've been good at that tonight. Here's Van Bockern. She's got Lawrenson open. There's that corner three. Air balls it no good. Van Bockern underneath the basket, puts up a shot, no good. Still fighting for the rebound and gets it. Has to give it up. Somehow finds Lawrenson. Now Lawrenson across the court. Taken up by Tryon, who's now in the game. Pass inside, McCollum scores. And the offensive rebounding of Bryn Van Bockern made all the difference that time and allowed Claire McCollum to capitalize. It's a one-point game. 24-23, Harrisburg has been getting better at offensive boards throughout the course of this game, which Pierre was dominating early. Soma finds Olsen on the right side. Molly Olsen bounces it to Soma. She gets double teamed and she's in a tie-up with Claire McCollum. No, a foul's called. A foul on McCollum. Thought that would be a tie-up initially, but I'm not going to argue with the referee in this situation. Olsen will inbound as Emerson Galdamer will check in for Van Bockern. He's been battle-tested in this third quarter. 1:34 to go in the third. Bounce pass. Olsen finds Dupree. Spins out of coverage for just a moment. Now she's going to drive inside, and she gets it to go off the glass. That is simply the playmaking ability of Lennox Dupree making a difference. That's what you call making lemonade out of lemons. 1:16 to go in the third quarter. McCullough now over to Durnell. Durnell goes to Lincoln Tryon. Tryon lost the ball. Ball on the ground. It is still loose. Finally picked up by Galdamer. Tries to get it off, and the ball's out of bounds. Governors will come up with it. Miscommunication between Galdamer and Claire McCullough. There was a lot of chaos taking place right there. Wasn't quite perfect chaos, but the Governors will take it as a perfect play and possession of the ball. On top 26-23. And again, I think that the miscommunication and all the frenzy that was taking place there cost Harrisburg that possession. Dupree's got some space, puts up a three, got fouled, and she will head to the free throw line. Nearly had a chance at a 4-point play. That is a critical error as well by Harrisburg against one of the best free throw shooters that the Govs have to offer. Now all they can do is hope that Dupree doesn't make them pay for their mistake with 41.1 to go in this third quarter in a low-scoring game, just 26-23 right now as the free throw goes in for Dupree. 15 points now for her on the night, and just 50 combined points between these two clubs. Don't see that very often with how high-scoring AA basketball is. And 2 for 2 for Lennox Dupree. 16 points for number 4. In the last 3 games, she has been a flamethrower. 28 against Roosevelt, 23 against Watertown, and now in the SoDak 16 against Harrisburg, she's got 16 with a chance at 17. And we're still only in the third quarter. She makes it. 29-23. Dupree goes 3 for 3 from the line. Govs on top by 6. Here's Van Vockern on the right side. And Bachern in some trouble, guarded by Larson. Pump fakes, great pass. Somehow got it off to Lincoln Tryon. Shot no good though. Rebounded by Olsen. Dupree's got it. Dupree bobbling the ball, still able to maintain control somehow as she gets across the half-court line. Shot clock off. 16 seconds to go in the third quarter. Dupree taking her time. She wants to put her own stake in the heart right here. Dupree spinning, pirouetting, has an open Olsen, pulls up for a three, and she got it! Molly Olsen ends the third quarter with the Govs on top, 32-23. And this crowd is electric. 9-point Governor advantage, and we will head to the fourth quarter. Your Govs on top by 4, trying to bring this one home and get back to the state tournament. We'll be back in one on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Govs on top, 32-23.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Ferding Electric and their team of electricians have been serving the electrical needs of Central South Dakota for over 60 years. For fast, dependable service, call Ferding Electric for free estimates. Commercial, residential, and farm wiring. You'll find a large selection of light bulbs, including the hard-to-find fluorescent bulbs. Ferding Electric at 2903 East Elizabeth Street in Pierre. They'll do the job right the first time. Call 605-224-8684. Ferding Electric, 605-224-8684.
Welcome back here on KCCR, Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Dylan Simmons on the call. Govs on top, 32-23 over the Harrisburg Tigers. Fourth quarter action is upon us in this game that has been more stunning than the John Cena heel turn as Gracelyn Taylor travels. Not the way the Governors wanted to start off this fourth quarter, but how about Molly Olsen getting a massive three-point shot to end the third quarter just a second ago, and she's got her team on top by 9 points. That was Olsen's first basket of the game. What a time to do it. Bryn Van Bachern's got it. Van Bachern takes a shot, and she'll head to the free throw line. But the Tigers understand they're running out of time, and with how hard it has been to get shots off, and actually they're just going to say this is an inbound pass. That's the fourth foul, by the way, on Addison Soma. So he's only got one more to give, but I think Bebout would rather just keep her in there and take his chances at this point. But he's got to hope that this game doesn't possibly go into overtime or anything like that. Jada Mason back in the game, gives it up, and Van Bachern goes right back to Mason. Right side, Mason drives, Mason fires one up, no good, off the glass. 7:27 to go in the third quarter, and the finishes have not been there on some of the layups tonight on either side. Been a bit sloppy from that perspective. Larson goes to Dupree in the corner, right back to Larson. Larson finds Dupree again, across the court, it gets past Taylor, and it's out of bounds. Turnover for the Governors. This will be Harrisburg basketball, and a misfire by the Govs on offense that time. I'm not sure if it was Richter they were trying to go to or Taylor. Either way, the ball was not where it was supposed to be. 7:13 to go in the fourth. Here's McKinley Lawrenson. Right side to Durnell. Logan Durnell finds Mason. Mason top of the key, guarded by Soma. Hesitating and spinning, gives it to Lawrenson on the left side. 6:58 to go in the fourth. Lawrenson gives it back. Van Bachern bobbled the ball, got it back on a knee, and getting the ball back was Taylor, and a foul's committed. Van Bachern lost the ball. Dupree went to a knee for a second, and then trying to spin back and get it was Van Bachern, and Taylor ended up just ripping the ball out of her hands. Another mistake by Harrisburg offensively, and a costly turnover. Now it's Dupree. She can smell blood in the water, and so can Larson. Misses the triple. Racing for the rebound was Dupree, out of bounds. And it is Harrisburg basketball. Govs fans and the Govs themselves not exactly thrilled with that call. Tigers will get a chance, though, with 6:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Pierre still using the full court press. Official having a conversation with the scorer's table for just a moment. I believe just trying to sort out the clock. Now it's Van Bakker. Full court press from Pierre. Harrisburg was really struggling with that in the first half. Here's Mason. Gives it up to Lawrenson. Lawrenson driving on the block, shot up, and she got the and one. That is the explosive nature of McKinley Lawrenson that makes her so dangerous. She can just grind her way inside, and that's what she did that time. A chance at a massive three-point play to bring this thing back to a 6-point affair. McKinley Lawrenson, the 5'10 senior forward, and she has played a great game today. And she's now at 9 points with the Govs up by 6. Can't rest on your laurels right now if you're the Governors. 6:18 to go here in the fourth quarter. Here's Emery Larson. Goes over to Lennox Dupree. Dupree, as usual, trying to generate some electricity. Has the ball back. Goes to the logo. Now finds Taylor. Taylor right back to Larson. Back out to Soma, and that pass intercepted. May have been tipped either way. Durnill's got it. Logan Durnil stops, pirouettes, gives it to Van Bakker, and right back out. Durnil for three. Got it. A massive triple for Logan Durnil, and all of a sudden it's a one-possession game. Doesn't take much, does it? Reminiscent of what we saw at the start of the third quarter and for most of the second quarter. Since the first, this has really been Harrisburg's game outside of a couple of stretches for Pierre. Here's Larson, corner three. Bang! Emery Larson has the answer. Her first triple of the night. And the Govs are on top 35-29. Timeout on the floor taken by Harrisburg. We're going to stick with the action right here. 5:27 to go in regulation. And I say regulation because with the way this game has gone, it could be one that very well goes into overtime. Govs on top by 6. Trying to get their 13th win of the season. And one thing that has somewhat eluded them tonight has been the three-point shot. But right there, Emery Larson, when you needed it the most, she found a way to get it. And that's what the Govs have to keep in mind here. It's not about how you start often, it's about how you finish. And the Governors are trying to finish strong against this Harrisburg team who can, in their own right, sniff a comeback. They were down and out. They were down 15-3. They only scored 3 points in the first quarter, but they have clawed their way back, no pun intended, and put themselves in position to at least give themselves a shot to advance to the state tournament by defeating Pierre on the road and getting revenge for that state semifinal loss back in 2023. Governors went on to play in the state championship game. They would lose to Washington 54-36 and end up as the runner-up for the 2022-23 season. Last year, they were the 5 seed, ended up losing to Jefferson in the quarterfinal. Lost by a score of 45-41. And now Kirk Bebout and his Governor squad trying to get back into the state tournament in his 5th year of coaching. He's 3-1 in the SoDak 16 all-time. And now he's trying to get win number 4 in the SoDak 16, as well as win number 6 in the postseason. Governors have been 5-2 in their last 7 in postseason play, and that's a double dribble by Maya Johnson. And she's throwing up her hands in disbelief, but the official was right there on the line and saw it. And the students section obviously letting them know what they think of that situation. 5:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Dupree's got it. Gives it to Taylor. Taylor left side to Larson. All the way across the floor. What a pass. Open Dupree. Corner three. No good. And McCullum seizes the rebound. Now Lawrenson on a fast break. Oh, she traveled, and she got caught doing so. And she immediately puts her hand to her body and says, yep, that's my bad. And indeed it was. Governors will get the ball back, but that's a costly turnover for Harrisburg right when they were in position to seize some momentum right back. And then the crucial mistake by the leader, McKinley Lawrenson. 4:55 to go in the fourth quarter. Governors up by 6. Here's Dupree, open to Larson. Can she get another one? She cannot. Rebound taken by Taylor, though. Offensive board for the Govs. Olsen in the post, bounces it back to Lennox Dupree. Dupree over to Larson on the right side. Larson finds Olsen. Olsen open in the corner. Taylor for three. No good off the side of the iron. Johnson secures the rebound. 4:29 to go in the fourth quarter. Here's Bryn Van Bakkeren, her team down by 6 points. They've been able to find a way time and time again to respond to Pierre. Van Bakkeren's shot, no good, ball loose. Ball picked up by Van Bakkeren. Johnson, right side, muscling her way inside. McCullum in a tie-up, still has the basketball, misses the shot. Could have been a travel there. Either way, it's Dupree with the ball. Great defense again by Pierre. Had 2 defenders on Maya Johnson, rather Claire McCullum that time. And now 3:55 to go in the fourth quarter, time ticking down. Governors may try to bleed a little clock and play it safe. Ball tipped out of bounds by Logan Dernill. Ends up on the Governors bench. Packed house here at Riggs High School, the biggest crowd likely of the season. It is capacity here in the capital city. Inbound pass to Dupree. On the lettering, Dupree weaving her way through the teeth of the defense, kicks it out. Now to Olsen, she gets her shot blocked by McCullum. Ball is on the ground, tie-up is called. Harrisburg ends up with possession. How about that defensive play by Claire McCullum? Snuffed out the shot attempt on Molly Olsen, and I think that extra pass from Gracelyn Taylor may have cost Pierre in that situation because Taylor had a 3, decided to go over to Molly Olsen, and it ended up costing Pierre. Here's Lawrenson, 3:35 to go in the fourth. Gives it to Dernill. She's got 3 triples in this game. Goes back to Lawrenson. Lawrenson bounces it to Van Bakkeren. She takes a 3. No good. Johnson with the rebound. Johnson puts up a tough shot and got it off the glass. Big shot from Maya Johnson. That's her first basket of the game. 35-31. 4-point Governor lead. It's edge of your seat television right now, folks. Don't you dare turn that dial. 3-point shot from the corner. It is gone. Emery Larson with a magnitude 10 shot. Governors on top by 7. And that is the clutch play that they've been looking for all game long from Emery Larson. 2 huge triples in the fourth quarter, but Maya Johnson has the answer. Johnson on the fast break gets the layup. 38-33 Govs. A timeout taken, full 1-minute timeout. We'll take one as well. Govs on top 38-33 with 2:43 to go in the fourth. We'll be right back with more SoDak 16 action on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel.
Ferding Electric and their team of electricians have been serving the electrical needs of Central South Dakota for over 60 years. For fast, dependable service, call Ferding Electric for free estimates. Commercial, residential, and farm wiring. You'll find a large selection of light bulbs, including the hard-to-find fluorescent bulbs. Ferding Electric at 2903 East Elizabeth Street in Pierre. They'll do the job right the first time. Call 605-224-8684. Ferding Electric, 605-224-8684.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Fourth quarter action. Pierre Governors on top 38-33 over the Harrisburg Tigers. This is the SoDak 16 on KCCR. Lennox Dupree gets the inbound pass from Grace Richter. Dupree and her team trying to solidify their spot in the state tournament, but they've got to survive for this final 2.5-minute stretch. Grace Richter with the ball on the block. Got to get rid of it, guarded by McCullum, just got it to Dupree. Dupree falls and is fouled. Fouled by Bryn Van Bakkeren, good show of sportsmanship right there, as Van Bakkeren extends a hand and helps Lennox Dupree up. It's gonna be a push foul, and that'll be the second team foul on Harrisburg in this fourth quarter. Inbound pass, wide open, Richter blew right through the defense and scores. Grace Richter now with 10, 40-33, Governors on top, time running out for Harrisburg. Lawrenson, tough shot, and she is gonna be fouled by Molly Olsen on a charge. And Pierre fans not too thrilled with the call right there. They're arguing that it was Lawrenson who initiated the contact, but either way, she heads to the free throw line with 2:15 to go in the fourth quarter. But desperate times are calling for desperate measures right now for Harrisburg. They have got to cash in these opportunities. And much like John Cena, they may have to do something unorthodox to get their way. Lawrenson nails both free throws. 40-35, Govs on top, full court press from Harrisburg. There's some of that desperation we were talking about. Trying to do anything they can to get the ball back. But the Govs cannot rest on their laurels. They've got to finish the job. Inside pass in the post is going to result in a foul. Maya Johnson commits it on Grace Richter as Dupree was trying to go to Richter. Third team foul on Harrisburg. 2:02 to go. Pierre will get the inbound pass from the baseline. A score here would almost put it out of reach. Not quite over, but it's going to be much tougher. Richter lost the ball. It's on the ground. Who's it out on? That's the question. And it is going to be Pierre basketball. The official on the baseline didn't know at first. Went to the side to ask her side official what the call should be, and she said it was Pierre ball. So maybe a little bit of controversy on that one. Pass to Dupree. Dupree tries to fit it into Olsen, and it's ripped away. What a steal by McCullum. And now Harrisburg has the opportunity they needed. Van Bokeren stops at the logo. 1:45 to go. Student section getting revved up. Van Bokeren turnaround shot, missed it. Ball's on the ground. Tie up. And whose possession going to go to? Looks like it's going to be Pierre basketball. So the Governors will come up with it. Arrow favors the Governors. So a missed shot by Harrisburg. Now Pierre is going to try to go. Dupree gets it ahead to Richter on the full court press. Richter stops. Goes right back to Dupree. And a good job of maneuvering their way through that full court press by the Governors. Screen for Dupree. Dupree driving and getting fouled. That'll be team foul number 4 on Harrisburg. One away from putting Pierre in the bonus. So another inbound pass for Pierre. And now Harrisburg has got to start wondering about intentionally fouling if the clock ticks down too much. Taylor will inbound it with 1:22 to go in the fourth. Gets it to Larson. Larson left side. Goes to Dupree. Dupree getting guarded by Van Bokeren. They've been going at it all night. Dupree back at the logo. Shot clock at 25, so Dupree's got plenty of time. Dupree lost the ball, no foul, and now there is a foul. Van Bokeren kept pursuing, and when you make that much contact, eventually you're going to get called for it. And that is exactly what happened. Lennox Dupree makes her way to the free throw line for 2. And the Govs have an opportunity to take a 7-point lead if Dupree can make these free throws. This is what a player like her dreams of, this kind of opportunity. And she makes the first one. And listen to that crowd reaction. They know just how critical that free throw was, and for good reason. This has a chance to make it a 7-point game and a 3-possession game, and it does. Dupree with 19, 42-35 Governors. Time running down for Harrisburg. Van Bokeren's driving, lost the ball. It will remain in the hands of Harrisburg as Dupree had the ball for a second, and she is moving around awkwardly on that right leg. And boy, that is not at all what fans want to see. Dupree's moving slowly. Looks like she is relatively okay, and she wants to stay in. But Kirk Bebout's going to call a timeout. So we'll hope that Lennox Dupree's okay. She is walking around gingerly, but right now the Govs are on top, 42-35. Timeout on the floor by Kirk Bebout and the Governors. And Bebout is trying to get this team amped up for the final 59.8 seconds. It's not quite celebration time yet. The Governors still have to take care of business. And for Harrisburg, the desperation is at a fever pitch. They know that right now, they're in almost a no-win situation. They've got to find a way to get points, and in a hurry. And secondly, they've got to find a way to prevent Pierre from getting points in their own right. The only thing that you can really do in this situation may be to intentionally foul, And we'll see if that's what the Tigers decide to do. Of course, Nick Mayer has been in situations like this before, understands what is needed from his team at this juncture. trying to get to the state semifinals for a third straight year. Governors trying to get back to the state tournament for the fourth time under Kirk Bebout. Inbound pass coming up. Given to Dernill. Logan Dernill gives it to Lawrenson. Lawrenson gets a screen. She's got a lane, puts up a shot. No good. Rebound McCullum, and she gets a tough shot off the glass. 5-point game. McCullum now with 5, 42-37. Timeout on the floor by Harrisburg. 50.4 to go. Governors are in the bonus in this situation. If you're just joining us on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel, it's been a dandy here in the capital city, back and forth all night long. But the Governors have always remained one step ahead of the Harrisburg Tigers time and time again, and it comes down to timely scoring. A 3 from Emery Larson there, a big shot from Lennox Dupree here, and all of a sudden you've got yourself up 42-37 over the Harrisburg Tigers with 50.4 to go in the fourth quarter. And now for Kirk Bebout and his squad, it is all about finishing the job they started when they walked into this gymnasium today and really walked into this season. There were people who were likely doubters who were like, we don't know if you're going to be the same team. You lost a lot of seniors. You lost a lot of leadership. You lost a lot of veteranosity. But right now the Governors are showing that they've got maturity beyond their years, and they're trying to translate that to a big win at home. Bounce pass to Dupree. Dupree driving against the baseline is immediately fouled. It'll send her to the free throw line, and good to see Dupree up and walking fine. Perhaps that possible injury is nothing more than a small blimp on the radar. That's what we'll hope. Assuming Pierre wins this, they will definitely want to have Lennox Dupree for the inevitable state tournament game. But again, that's only if they can finish the job. Dupree's got to make these free throws. And she does rattle home the first. This has been one of Pierre's best free throw shooting nights of the season. And if you'll remember back, they were struggling with that in the early part of this year. Not so much anymore. She misses the second, so it does still remain a 2-possession game. Lawrenson's got it. Lawrenson, player falls down. Lawrenson right to the basket. Can't get the shot to go in. It's Van Bokeren who had the ball. It's on the ground. Tie up. Who does possession go to? The arrow is going to go to the Harrisburg Tigers. So Harrisburg will remain in possession of the basketball after that scrum for it. But the Tigers are running out of time. 36.9 to go. You got to put up a three-pointer, you'd think, in this situation. And if you're Pierre, the last thing you want to do is foul. Van Bokeren gets it into Dernill. Dernill goes right back to Van Bokeren. There's the three-point shot. It's well off the mark. It's rebounded by McCullum for a moment. A foul's committed. And I believe that may have been by Olsen underneath the basket. But again, it's just going to be another side inbound for Harrisburg. And it is against Olsen, her second. 31.1, so the shot clock resets. But again, Harrisburg's just got to put up a shot and in a hurry. And right now they're losing valuable time. Lawrenson gets rid of it to Van Bokeren. Left side, inside, intercepted. Grace Richter snatches it out of the air and is immediately fouled by Claire McCullough. And it's been plays like that that Grace Richter has been able to make all season long. Dare I say, this is her most complete game of the year thus far. The incredible start in the first quarter, the dominance on defense in the second half, and now she's got an opportunity to virtually put this one away. This free throw would put the Governors up by 3 possessions. It's good. Richter with 11. 44-37, and now the fans feel it. Olsen heads to the bench. Gracelyn Taylor, Larson, Dupree, Soma, and Richter, the 5 on the floor. Richter misses the second. Rebound taken by McCullough. Score remains at 44-37. Lawrenson's got to hurry. Lawrenson gets rid of it to Van Bokeren. Van Bokeren driving. They're going to give her that basket. Excuse me. And she makes it. Moving so fast I couldn't speak was Bryn Van Bokeren. 44-39, 15.6 to go in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a full 1-minute timeout, and we're not going to dare go away from this. Governors on top by 5. And again, what's at stake? A trip to Rapid City in the state tournament next weekend. It'll be Thursday through Saturday. The Governors, if they can hang on, would play the winner of Brandon Valley and Watertown. That would be state tournament game number 3. And the Governors would make the quarterfinals for the 3rd consecutive year. 2 years ago, they made the state championship game, defeated Harrisburg in the semifinals to do so. And perhaps here at home in the SoDak 16, history will repeat itself here tonight. Harrisburg 2-8 against teams above 500 this season. And against another team above 500 tonight, they have had similar struggles. They lost 54-40 to this Govs team at home early on in the season. They've kept it closer tonight, but they have not been able to overcome the strength of this Pierre Governor basketball team. Soma to inbound, shot clock off. And the Governors wrap it up right here. Soma gets it to Dupree, and there's the immediate foul by Maya Johnson. Harrisburg in desperation mode. At this point, it's all about, as we mentioned in the pregame show with Kirk Bebout, fundamental basketball. Doing what you need to do, as the official discusses something with Nick Mayer for just a moment. Lennox Dupree, who's been so good from the free throw line, has an opportunity to cash in once again. Lincoln Tryon's going to check in for Maya Johnson, as it looks like that is going to be the end of her game and likely the end of her season. Senior guard standing at 5'4", has been good tonight, but it doesn't look like her team's going to have enough. Dupree's free throw is up and good. 45-39, Lennox Dupree now with 21 points. That is 3 games back-to-back with 20 plus. Remember, she had 20 against Harrisburg on the road. She's now surpassed that tonight. And she makes them both, 46-39. 7-point Govs lead, 14.8 to go. Van Bokker's got it, driving down the floor in the lane. Doesn't get the open basket. Taylor with the rebound, clock running down to 5, and that is gonna do it. Alexa, play Elton John, because tonight the Govs are still standing. Rapid City, here they come. The Pierre Governors are back in the state tournament for the 3rd consecutive year. What a sensational night for the Pierre Governors. Heartbreak, understandably, for the Harrisburg Tigers. But for the Govs, this was a night about doing what had to be done. Playing basketball the way you've got to play it and finding their way to victory. And by the way, folks, that's not the only thing to celebrate tonight, because a certain player surpassed 1,000 points in this game as well. Lennox Dupree reaches 1,000. An emotional moment for her on this hardwood. She has fought so hard throughout her entire career as a Governor, and the senior is going to be aptly rewarded, as she should be. And listen to this crowd and the ovation they give number 4. It's moments like these that make you proud to be a sports fan, make you proud to be a high school basketball fan. And when you got a player like Lennox Dupree, you're always proud. 46-39, Govs getting the victory, and Dupree getting a photo op. Whew, that was a catch-your-breath kind of game, wasn't it, folks? Again, just to make it official, the Governors will play in the state tournament coming up in a week's time. They'll be in Rapid City on Thursday to take on the winner of Watertown, Brandon Valley. We'll get an update on that game and games across the state, as well as post-game stats from this one in just a moment when we come back from this 3-minute timeout. Govs win 46-39, and they're headed to the state tournament. Back in 3.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Did you know it is important for your child to see the dentist at the time their first tooth erupt? A healthy smile begins at birth, and there are many variables, from healthy eating habits to good oral hygiene and routine dental care. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer. At Missouri River Dentistry, we enjoy working with people of all ages. Dentistry is our profession, but people are our focus. I invite families to come experience an office that uses the latest techniques and equipment to be sure you receive that healthy and happy smile. To schedule your appointments for your family, call us at 223-2021. Kids love us, parents trust us.
Most of us already know that Gale's Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the costs throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gale's Gas at 224-5518. That's Gale's Gas at 224-5518.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. And we are at a jubilant Riggs High School as your Pierre Governors girls basketball team clinches their spot in the state tournament next week in Rapid City. They win 46-39, and time for more photo ops at half court. Got a whole swarm of photographers and parents going out there to get the photo. I've been there before, guys. It's something you got to wait on, but hey, it's part of it. And this Governors team should be proud of what they've accomplished already this season, but this was not an easily earned victory. They had to fight for it the hard way. Harrisburg fought through the entire contest. It was once 15-3 after the end of the first quarter. The Governors' defense was the story early, but Harrisburg able to claw their way back, and Pierre had to find a way to fend them off. A team they'd already beaten once, and Harrisburg took advantage of the opportunity. They just weren't able to get it done at the end. And the fans are going to do their version of a court storm as Lennox Dupree is going to take down the net. Getting her own piece of the pie, and of course, it's a ceremonial thing here for any high school basketball player. They each take a piece of the net. It's done throughout basically every single high school basketball forum. Now it's going to be Grace Richter's turn, and what a game she had, especially with her first quarter defense, forcing a bevy of turnovers. She'll get her own little string, and the rest of the team will follow suit. We'll continue to bring it to you live right here on the KCCR Sports YouTube channel, and I'll describe it for you best I can here if you're listening in on KCCR Radio. But let's go into some post-game stats as Gracelyn Taylor takes down her piece of the net. As usual, the Governors were led in scoring by Lennox Dupree, who reached 1,000 points tonight and scored 22 total on her way to leading the Govs to a 46-39 victory. That is her third consecutive game of 20-plus. She had 28 against Roosevelt, 23 against Watertown, and now 22 against Harrisburg in the SoDak 16 game. You can tell with her scoring performances as of late, she has really been sniffing that 1,000 points, and she wanted it tonight. She got it. Grace Richter was the second leading scorer with 11. What a night for her, probably her most complete game of the season. She was just on a mission tonight, especially on defense, forced a bevy of turnovers. She and Dupree took over in the first quarter and really jump-started the Pierre offense with 6 points apiece in that first quarter on their way to a 15-3 lead. And Emery Larson down the stretch in the fourth quarter made a couple of huge triples that kind of separated Pierre from Harrisburg just enough to allow the Tigers to never let themselves back in the game as Larson takes down her piece of the net. And what a season she's had, especially from beyond the arc. And the great thing about her, she's only a junior. She'll be back for another season next year. And boy, can we wait, or can we not wait to see rather, just how much she develops going into her senior season. As Mackenzie Flotmeyer will get her piece of the net next. Meanwhile, for the Harrisburg Tigers, they were led in scoring by McKinley Lawrenson and Logan Dernill, who combined for 23 total. Dernill with 12, Lawrenson with 11. Bryn Van Bokeren had 4, Maya Johnson, with 4, and Claire McCullum with 5 for Harrisburg. That's how they got their 39. As festivities continue here at Riggs High School. Also didn't mention that there were other scorers for Pierre. Talked about Grace Richter, Emery Larson, and Lennox Dupree, but Addison Soma also had 2 points in that game for the Govs on their way to a 46-39 win. And the interesting thing about Soma is that she was in some foul trouble early on, fought through it all to find her way and stay in this game and helped the Govs the best she could to this 46-39 victory. And again, as we've said before, Pierre was up 15-3 after the first quarter and had to fight their way through a Harrisburg rally in the second. This game was once in the hands of the Tigers. They were up early on in the third quarter, but then it was the Governors who turned it all around in the third quarter late with a couple of timely threes. Lennox Dupree taking over, Emery Larson rising up in the fourth, and that allowed the Governors to put themselves in position to clinch this win. Tigers just ran out of time and didn't have enough firepower to keep up with this Pierre offense. The Governors will take on the winner of Brandon Valley Watertown, which is right now in progress. If we can get a final score on that, we will let you know as soon as we can. Keeping an eye on scores across the state. Of course, Stevens and Huron also playing tonight. Roosevelt and Spearfish as well. Do have a final from O'Gorman versus Sturgis Brown. O'Gorman wins 56-32, and O'Gorman heads back to Rapid City for a chance at a state championship. Looking at other scores across the state, in boys basketball action, it's at half between Aberdeen Christian and Hitchcock-Tulare, with Aberdeen Christian on top 29-23. Don't see a lot of other scores as of right now, but as soon as they come in, I will give those to you quickly. So we'll keep a close eye on all those scores. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout as the net continues to come down at Riggs High School, and one of the greatest songs of all time, We Are the Champions, blazes out at Riggs High School. And yes, Pierre, yes you are. We'll be back in 3.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back. The sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next to you, all online. Or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Tons Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Tons Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Tons Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Tons Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Capital City Ford, Lincoln, Toyota, and Pierre, where exceptional customer service meets an incredible inventory lineup. Looking for your dream car? Our expert team is here to guide you every step of the way. From dependable Fords to luxurious Lincolns and versatile Toyotas, we have something for every taste, need, and budget. Experience the difference with us today. Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Dylan Simmons here. Our scoreboard, by the way, presented by American Family Insurance and the Brittany Shovelbein Agency. Thank you to Brittany and American Family Insurance for sponsoring our scoreboard each and every game, as a mass of humanity has descended here on the hardwood at Riggs High School for the final time this year, and that's kind of the bittersweet nature of this kind of game. You get the win, but it's the last time you play at Riggs High School if you're a senior. But man, what a season it's been for the Pierre Governor girls. And the great thing about it, it's not done. They get another game coming up next week in the state tournament against the winner of Brandon Valley Watertown. Still waiting to find a final score on that. Haven't gotten anything official yet, but again, as soon as I have a result on that, I will let you know. Make sure to stay tuned as well to kccrradio.com for all the latest and all the scores, around the state of South Dakota and in the SoDak 16. Do have an updated score in boys action. Stevens on top of Huron by a score of 51-14. My gracious, Stevens is definitely laying down the hammer on the Tigers right now. And looks like that is the only reported score to come in since our commercial break. Governors moved to 13-8 on the season overall, including their game tonight. They'll be 12-8 in AA play. And we will await a post-game interview with a player, if we can get one before we go off the air. Governors came in with a 6-6 record against teams above 500. That moves to 7-6. They were 7-3 at home in the regular season. Now they'll go to 8-3 as well. Home has always treated them well as far as this season is concerned, and this game was no exception. They found their way through and found their way when the crowd rallied behind them. Kirk Bebout moves to 5-2 against Harrisburg all time and picks up his 6th postseason victory. Now moves to 6-2 overall in the last 8 postseason games. So when it comes to the postseason, Pierre has certainly found their, rather 3 years I should say, Pierre has certainly found their levels of success. And now they look ahead, whoever they've got to play in the state tournament. If you'll remember back to last year, they played Jefferson in the quarterfinals, ended up losing by a score of 45-41. And although players may not want to admit that kind of loss can stick with you just a little bit. It's something you think about, it's something that drives you, and I'm sure a lot of these seniors have been thinking about that loss, getting back to this point. Now they've got the opportunity to do just that. They're not going to meet Jefferson in the quarterfinals, but they will meet either Brandon Valley or Watertown, depending on the results. By the way, as a bit of a shameless plug, we're not done with SoDak 16 basketball action this weekend. Tomorrow, we will be on the road here on KCCR in Brandon as your Pierre boys basketball team, led by their head coach, Brianna Kusler, takes on the Brandon Valley Lynx 15-2. Govs trying to punch their ticket back to the state tournament and pull a maybe what some would call a stunning upset against the Brandon Valley Lynx. But if you ask the Pierre Governors boys, they believe they've got the ability to pull an upset, as they almost did against Brandon Valley earlier on this year. That game will be live at 2:30 tomorrow right here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. And we'll see if the Governors can the boys Governors, I should say, rather, will be able to get the win. By the way, the net has gone down completely. If you look on the left side of your screen, the ladder is still in place, but the net is gone. It's just completely vanished. I don't know who's got the full net right now. Of course, everybody takes their piece of it. Well, the actual net is nowhere to be seen, but the great thing about taking down the net is that you can always get another one, and you've got time to replace it as a little one goes under the ladder. That's not what you want to do. That's bad luck, kid. But regardless of that, the Governors are now going to look ahead to the state tournament, and they'll be able to replace that net with plenty of time off to get a new one. So no issues as far as that's concerned. I'm sure they got some spare nets around here in the capital city or somewhere across the Mount Rushmore state. Governors win 46-39. We're going to take another 3-minute timeout, and we'll see if we can get somebody up for a post-game interview from the Pierre Governors. We'll be right back in just a moment. You're listening in to SoDak 16 coverage on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Back in 3.
It's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Becky Potsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Ferding Electric and their team of electricians have been serving the electrical needs of Central South Dakota for over 60 years. For fast, dependable service, call Ferding Electric for free estimates. Commercial, residential, and farm wiring. You'll find a large selection of light bulbs, including the hard-to-find fluorescent bulbs. Ferding Electric at 2903 East Elizabeth Street in Pierre. They'll do the job right the first time. Call 605-224-8684. Ferding Electric, 605-224-8684.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do. Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
Welcome back here on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. Dylan Simmons with you. Your Pierre Governors winning by a score of 46-39, and the massive humanity on the hardwood continues to roam around. Give their congratulations to the girls, as well they should. An emotional night for them, and we've talked a lot about the Governors getting the win 46-39 over Harrisburg. Well, we haven't talked as much about Lennox Dupree getting to 1,000 points. We mentioned her a lot on this broadcast, but for good reason. What she does on a nightly basis, night in and night out, especially with her interior play, nothing short of sensational. And she had to be sensational tonight. She scored 22 of Pierre's 46 points. She almost accounted for half of the Governors' total scoring output in this game. and the defense did the rest after the fact. This Governors team, I mentioned a stat earlier on in the fourth quarter, they have not lost a game in which they've given up less than 55 points on the season. That's been the mark, and again tonight, they did not give up 55, they didn't even give up 40, they only gave up 39 total points, and that was enough to find their way to victory. They held Harrisburg to just 15 points in the first half and 3 points in the first quarter, on their way to this 46-39 win over the Tigers here at home. But Harrisburg, they were hard charging. As I mentioned, they put up 24 points in the second half to make this thing a really interesting contest. But the thing that helped Pierre out is that they just stayed one step ahead. That's all you've got to do. Just enough to maintain the advantage and get the victory. And the Governors managed to do that. I said we were going to look for a post-game interview, but it's proving mighty difficult because the players are still in celebration mode, and to be honest, I don't blame them. In this kind of atmosphere, in this kind of situation, all you're thinking about is celebrating with your friends and family and thinking about the future, which is going to be next week in Rapid City, again against either Brandon Valley or Watertown. Wish I could give you an update on that, but I still do not have an official score as of yet. If I can get that for you, I will before we go off the air. But as of right now, still waiting on an official word on who won the Brandon Valley Watertown girls basketball game. We would presume Brandon Valley being the 2 seed, but again, you know what they say about presuming. You don't want to presume because sometimes you can be wrong, and we do not want to be wrong and give you a false information. So we will await official word on that until we get a score reported to us. But in the meantime, Govs on top here, 46-39, and again making their 3rd consecutive state tournament. Kirk Bebout, he came into this program 5 years ago, and he set out on a mission to put Pierre Governors girls basketball at a standard that it's always been at, but maintaining that form and even enhancing it. He's now got a 67-43 record all time and took over from Scott DeBoer at the end of the 2019-2020 season. Ever since then, it's been almost nothing but good things, and his continued success just highlights how good of a coach he really is and how much he believes in this team. And the fact that you just can't doubt this Governor girls squad. They proved it once again tonight, as there's a photo op between some of the players out near half court, a lot of the starters looks like, and we found out where the majority of the net went to. Addison Soma's got it, at least at the moment, and she's posing with the plaque, and that's another perk of winning in a SoDak 16 game, is you get a plaque to go along with it saying, hey, you're in the state tournament. So it's another great accolade to add to the collection, and that'll look very nice in the Riggs High School trophy case, I'm sure, in due time. Bebout moves to 5-2 overall against Harrisburg since taking over as head coach, and the Governors have now won 6 of their last 8. There are only 2 losses in their last 8 games, coming against Roosevelt and Jefferson last week in 2 odd games in which the defense didn't quite play up to par as they usually do, but you can almost put that in the rearview mirror, at least for now. And we talked about it in the pregame show, but that week of rest that Pierre got before this game, it seems as though it served them well. They came out with energy, fire, and determination. They had been playing a rigorous schedule, folks. So many games back to back to back, so many contests, and that wears on you throughout the course of the season. But having that week off, having time to collect their thoughts, collect their energy, put them in a position to be able to go out and get a win tonight, and that's exactly what they were able to do on their way to this 46-39 victory and advancing on to the state tournament. Well, I think that's going to do it for tonight. We're going to draw this one to a close. Thank you all so much for listening in on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel. We will be back tomorrow right here on your Riverfront Broadcasting Station with Pierre Governors boys basketball action as the boys take on the Brandon Valley Lynx 2 versus 15 in Brandon, South Dakota. I will be on the call for that one at 2:30 sharp. Don't miss it right here on KCCR. And the girls, they'll be hitting the road on Thursday to Rapid City. They'll be heading up to the city near the Black Hills as they get ready for their state tournament action. They will take on the winner of number 2 seed Brandon Valley and number 15 seed Watertown. And we will have that game live for you on KCCR and the KCCR Sports YouTube channel, as we will all state tournament action involving Pierre Governors basketball. That's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all so much for listening in. For Emma back at the station, for all of you listening in at home, I am Dylan Simmons saying so long, and remember to always have an electric night. This has been a presentation of KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront Broadcasting Station. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.
You've been listening to Pierre Governor Basketball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. The Pierre Governors are brought to you by State Farm Insurance Becky Potsuba Agency, the American of Fort Pierre, Bank West, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Farting Electric, Gales Gas, American Family Insurance Brittany Schaffelbein Agency, CHS River Plains, First Dakota National Bank, Shane's Pharmacy, Missouri River Dentistry, Kruger Contracting, Edward Jones Financial, Lamb Motor, Owyhee Federal Credit Union, Todd's Electric, and the South Dakota Office of Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection. Join us next time for Pierre Governor Basketball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports, Central South Dakota.